Hello everybody, welcome back. We are going to be getting started pretty soon here. We're just going to wait for the reset before we really get started. So what we're doing today is I'm going to be running the Dreadnoughts out in Nullsec, while I show off the 3 Raven Strikers that I have there at running their AI through their system in Clover. Something I always talk about is faster isn't necessarily better for AI, because if you're too fast, the AI will start to shut down on you. So what your goal here is, if you're in Cloyler, usually the average amount of missions is about 3 or 4 missions um, before per reset. So you want to keep these Ravens just about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes in clear time for each encounter, up until the point where you start getting resets with a lot more missions being run. So let's quickly go through the fit here. So these Raven Strikers I just set up today, I normally would have Raven Navy issues, but I found that more often than not, I would not fly the Raven Navies. So why would I even have them if I could do the same thing but a little bit cheaper? To give you an idea, the Raven Navies would be sitting somewhere around 5,000 DPS with like 5,000, 4,800. Um, and that usually kept them pretty good in clear time. So with these Raven Strikers, they're pretty well set. They don't need a whole lot of tank, because they are going to be running their shield booster like all the time, along with keeping their DPS up pretty high. What I should have on here is I really need to put like some good salvage drones on here so that you can gather things as it goes. But whatever. The reason I like Ravens is because of the range they have and the lack of needing any mid slots other than Nosferatu's on the large rapid missiles. These Raven Strikers are going to have a 50-kilometer range, and that is way more than what they need to handle some of the further spawns that happen. For example, like if our ship is chasing a battleship that's gone a little bit further away from the anomaly, kills it, and then another wave spawns in, normally that is going to be about 35 to 45 kilometers away. There are a few times where they'd be like 55 to 70, but not often when you have enough DPS. One thing to note here, I have 2 ships running with the kinetic warhead implant rather than the thermal warhead implant. To be more effective, I would want the thermal warheads on all of these with the thermal upgrades on my nanocores. So the nanocore is what determined my choice. Because I've got really good kinetic here, or EM if I really wanted to swap it to EM, but I really don't. Thermal is the best option out here. Kinetic is second best. You can see here I've got like a 13.3 thermal damage. This would actually be much better than the 14 kinetic. One day I will get the shield attributes up to where this one in the middle is, or this one on the top right is. And that'll just give us that little bit better buffer. We do keep the Star Melody nanocore on here just because that's what I had. We're not necessarily using it to clear anything out. The ships will do that on their own just fine. If you really wanted to ensure you had some pretty good tank, you could go with the 24% extra shield. But that is so unnecessary, and the Star Melody could be used as sort of a upgrade, or as sort of like a wave clearer if you're really in trouble. The only other nanocore you would run like this would be the Thermomagnetic Storm Core. You get the Thermomagnetic Storm Core 2 from the Concord Pass points here. So if I was to go into the Concord Pass, if you use your Concord points on the decoding keys and you use them for the nanocore lucky box, you can get yourself the Thermomagnetic Storm core choice, which is extremely useful for a Raven. This will be applied to like Raven, Raven Striker, and Raven Navy. This is the nanocore that has been known as the best PvE nanocore, especially for AI, on pretty much all of these ships. Particularly the Dominic's one is extraordinarily deadly, especially on the Dominic's Navy issue. But I do like the Raven one because you still get that choice of what damage type you want to go with. Hey Jitter, how you doing today? So if you don't have like the Star Melody nanocore, just know that using the Raven or the Dominic's Thermomagnetic Storm 2 core is also a viable option for this. Both of those are going to have really nice stats. For your damage. Alright, now that we've come across our stats there, and some of my thoughts on AI itself, Over on the right side, on the bottom right, we have our Nagalfar that you've seen me run in Nullsec. And the reason I'm comparing this ship to the 3 AI ships is that they're going to output very similar bounty ticks. The 3 Ravens are probably going to put out anywhere between 8 to 12,000, or 8 to 12 million bounty ticks, not including the mission rewards for completing missions. Whereas the Nagalfar is going to put out anywhere around 32 to 48, depending on what anomalies we're running. So it's going to be pretty similar, but you'll note that one Dreadnought can very, very easily keep up with 3 AI ships in a Highsec island. Alright, so I guess we should get started. Gotta keep an eye on local. We got lots of people today, so it shouldn't be too bad. To give an idea on our tank here, it's not a whole lot of tank, but it is enough to keep us alive. Alright, since we're already past the reset, let's just go ahead and start up the AI. Hey Snoopy, how you doing today? Alright, something to note is that we're past the reset, so we have our missions that we're gonna have.
Undocking.
And then it will reset as it goes. I am doing good. Alright, we're just going to keep an eye on the area around us. There is an Angel Inquisitor, which maybe I'll run, maybe I won't run. I don't know. Alright, so one of the things to note about AI on the AI ships is it does wait until ships start targeting it and shooting it before it starts its lock-on process. As for the Dreadnought here, it does take a little bit to get
Warp
that
drive
first
active.
warp, but after that, everything should be plenty fine. I personally like to yep. I guess I'll have to find a different one to run here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and choose this one over here after our thing runs out. This will be a lot quicker to get warped and ready to go. Off we go.
Warp drive active.
The micro jump drive trick works very well on a dreadnought for getting to warp very quickly, but only if you're stationary.
We're under attack.
On the Dread, I like to manually fire at everything. It allows me to also choose my activations for the main weapons.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
And we can clear things out pretty quickly on a Dread. The Sea Whiz really does help with all those smaller
Enemy
ships.
ships detected. We're under attack.
Ooh, that's loud. Alright. With the Dreadnought, we're pretty much only focused on the larger ships. The rest of the time we're gonna end up sort of just waiting for the Sea Whiz to kill the smaller stuff. If I had a grappler laying around, I would have a grappler on here instead of a weaponifier. It is just a little bit better choice.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
On the other side, you'll see the Ravens are quite clearly blasting through their missions. It is not bad. We've got to clear out some of these small so we have mediums to run. It's just one of the unfortunate effects of
warp drive active.
Of the Dreadnought and Nullsec. You've got to stay on top of these small anomalies, otherwise they pack in here and stop mediums and larges from spawning along with other special sites. Yeah, I
We're
would prefer
under
to have
attack.
a grappler on here, though. The Ravens don't seem to have any trouble whatsoever. They're completely reliant on themselves, and there's no problem with that.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I like to run two, I do like to run two Nosferatus on the Ravens, just to make sure they always have that enough capacitor coming in to keep everything running all the time. But it's really not necessary when you have pretty good skills. Aw, that's okay, Jenner.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
One of the benefits of the Ravens is that they really do not struggle with small ships. Unlike some of the Tyranid battleships, where they're gonna actually need to slow those
Enemy ships
small ships
detected.
down in order
We're
to hit
under
them.
attack.
I'm gonna try to hit this frigate. I doubt I'll be able to, though. Yeah, I pretty much had to rely on the Sea Whiz.
Warp drive active.
Note that the Dreadnought is currently running at 440 for its skills, whereas the Raven Strikers are currently running like 454 or something like that. So they do take quite a bit more skills once you're there. They don't need a whole ton to get where they're at, but it is good to have as good as possible when you're running AI.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Nice. That's a good rep to get started. Hopefully you can bring that up just a little bit more. But yeah, that's a pretty good rep.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
The lock-on time for the Nagalfar is not bad. It's pretty comfortable. This is one of those times where I wish I had that grappler so I could slow him down just enough for my turrets to actually track and hit. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's
Enemy
really cool.
ships detected. We're under attack.
Alright, cleared that. We're pretty close to being able to start moving on to like larges and mediums. Need to clear at least like one more, I think.
Warp drive active.
So we haven't seen our first bounty take yet. But it should be pretty decent as we're going through here. I don't think these have seen it yet either.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. ships detected. We're under attack.
Okay, there's our first bounty tick there. 26 million for the smalls that we're doing. That's not bad. But that'll go up much higher with, when we're starting the mediums. And the largest.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Okay, so they got their bounty rewards. Each one got about 10.6, 11.2, and 11.6. There we go. I think we're stuck for 15 seconds. Alright, I'm gonna start moving on to the largest, I think. Okay.
Warp drive active.
A Fiend Typhoon 2? Oh, a Friend's Typhoon 2. Yeah, Typhoon 2s can be pretty terrifying. Their application is really good. 3-piece... 4P70s, nice. Yeah, that's a completely Highsec ship, isn't it? Or if it's Nullsec, it'll be pretty good as well. But it won't be a PvP ship.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Oh man, actually managed to deal damage to it, huh? Was he applying like full damage, or was it still pretty partial?
detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just what Typhoons do. They like to apply damage with the large missiles. Yeah, I always go back and forth whether or not I actually want one.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
That's funny. Today I had to stop myself from getting the Tech 10 jump for my alts that you see over there running the AI, just so I could have the better skills, and I was like, oh, it's not worth $160 for 2 alts. Not yet. I know we're like just around the corner from another event, so I really want to save that for the next event. I'm gonna turn off my automatic lockback. Ah, he's actually pretty close.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
So the more battleships that we have on the grid, the much better our bounty tick will be on the Dreadnought. The same kind of applies for the ones running in Highsec as well. But the Highsec idea is the quicker you can clear out all of the small stuff, the better your tick will be. It's two different lines of thought that end up bringing you the result that you want. Yeah, you'll struggle if you buy the 210 pack too. Yeah, it's such a good deal. I mean, it is such a good deal.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
But I know for now I don't really need it, so that's why I haven't bought it.
We're under attack.
Oh. My game just decided to exit out on me. Not really sure why. But let's get back in there. So that is a problem with running AI, is once in a while it will just completely drop you out of the game. Gonna have to fix my stuff here.
Warp drive active.
There we go. It's back up and running.
We're under attack.
Yeah, as nice as AI can be, it is rough to have it set up correctly. It's a completely different mindset from what you would get out of any other fitting. You have to think of everything as cap stable, being just tanky enough for your hardest mission that you're gonna encounter. And you have to not have too much DPS, or it'll completely ruin it.
Enemy ships detected.
If you have too much DPS,
We're
it'll just
under
stop
attack.
you because you've gone through all of your missions, before your reset.
We're being warp scrambled.
Not AI in a super. Oh god. Okay, let's see if we
Enemy
can get
ships
the
detected.
next set of battleships here.
We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
Yeah. That would be awful. Getting flopped in your super because you're running AI with it. I'm sure somebody has had that happen, though. There's no way it hasn't happened. I mean, hell, we've had supers get flopped because people are asleep. So, it's not too far off.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
Okay, there's a bounty tick for that one. We still have not seen our second bounty tick out here. It really is a pretty fine line between, like, wanting to get the best pick possible and trying to keep the AI running. Okay, so there's our normal bounty tick for when we're running a large, or multiple larges. So you can see here, this time we got a 43 million bounty tick. Whereas each of these only got... This will be the best bounty tick that these ones get, I believe. So they got like 12-9. 12-9, 12-4, and that needs to be on bounty tick. And 13-1.
We're under attack. We're being warp
Now we're actually encountering a little bit of lag here on the Dread.
We're being warp scrambled.
Oof, that music. It kills me. I keep messing up this cycle here.
Enemy ships detected.
Yeah, when you're too lazy to run missions, AI is so good for that. You just set your phone down or you leave your computer open and let it do its thing. Yeah, that's not too bad. 200 million for an hour. That's a pretty good start. Is that with commendations or without? I guess I'll go do the Angel Inquisitor. Nah, I should still do some larges. I kind of want to go do the Angel Inquisitor.
Warp drive active.
Unless somebody's doing it. Who knows? I think they tend to be forgotten. Depending on flex price. That's funny. Wait for that to go. If someone's
Warp
in
drive
here,
active.
we'll try to get out of here as soon as we can. See what's going on here. Looks like we're the ones in here, so just gonna kind of clear this out.
We're under attack.
I'm gonna rely on the Seawiz here.
Enemy ships detected.
Okay, this is where we want our
We're under attack.
siege mode for that battleship. This Angel Inquisitor is one of the easier ones that you can do.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
But it's still good money. So you pretty much do 17 flex a day. That's what your goal is? And that's based on 500 Omega Duo, right? Man, you should really consider going down to, like, regular Omega Basic. It'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. Battleship's giving me a little bit of trouble here. There we go. We're starting to hit now. Not until you get all the Omega bonus rewards. I gotcha.
Warp drive active.
Alright, here we go. As soon as we come out of warp, just like that.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, it's really not too bad.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
What kind of range do I have? That guy's going out to 50. I've got plenty of range.
Enemy ships detected.
Wow, look at them all just
We're
like
under attack.
scatter. I think they all bounced off of each other. Looked kind of funky. What's going on with the top left? Did it just finish a mission, or what's it doing? There we go. See, there's that fine line of whether or not it was gonna be able to move on to the next set of missions. Hey, hey, how you doing, Caliber? Yeah, we've got our alts over in Fortler just running AI, which I don't normally do, but I felt like I'd show it off compared to running stuff in Nullsec. How you doing today? Slow that guy down real quick. Alright, that was all of those. So we're gonna have to go back down and do some mediums. It's about 1.4,
Warp drive active.
about 1.4 to 1.6 billion. If you can get it around like 9.8 million per ISP, or per plex. So it's not bad. At once you enter Tech 7, you can start doing Dormant Realms, and that'll really help you out with, making some ISK in the background. Yes, yeah, you can use any ship as long as you have Omega, whether it's basic or anything up from there. I personally use basic Omega for anything that I'm playing in-game
We're
with.
under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, so once it ends, you will not have access to Tech 8 through Tech 10 ships unless you get Omega Basic at a minimum. So at least try to get Omega Basic.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. Enemy ships detected.
In Apraxis 2, see if you can join
We're
any,
under
like,
attack.
Dormant Realm carries. You'd be looking at Dormant Realm 1. Pretty much any level would be really good for you, and you can sell a lot of stuff there. If you do the Concord Pass, you can buy, let me show it here. So if you do the Concord Pass here, and you do the free path, you can use these points to buy this box here. This box will allow you to open one of any of these. You want to choose the offense or the industry box. Those are usually the most expensive ones. And you can sell these two materials. The free pass will get you somewhere around 750 million ISK on its own. If you sell those materials. But you have got to do the Concord Pass.
Enemy
I
ships
do
detected.
have a video on that. You really should
We're
be
under
doing the
attack.
expert level missions with a sniper fit, Praxis 2. It's the safest way you can do it and still make decent ISK as you go. Give me a minute and I can share the YouTube link and all that. And let me also send the Discord link as well. There's going to be a lot of good information on my YouTube, specifically around the Tech 10 Day 1 stuff that you have. That's what you see running a Dreadnought right now, is this character running the Nagalfar, which is in the bottom right for you. It started as the character with a Tech 10 jump and has worked its way up through Dreadnoughts, doing everything I did on the Alpha to Omega series. But yeah, make sure you're doing those Concord passes and running the expert level encounter missions in Highsec. Ah, T8 anomalies in Null? Yeah, you can do that. It's not too bad. It'll definitely take a while.
Enemy ships detected.
I do recommend that as soon
We're
as
under
possible you
attack.
swap out of that ship and into a Dominic's, or a Dominic's Navy issue, if you can make
We're
that much
under
ISK
attack.
very quickly. The Dominic's Navy issue is going to have a much better time with all of that kind of stuff, especially even just the Dominic's. It's something you should look into. Oh, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the community I have is more than willing to help anybody out with information or getting some ISK. There's a lot of good guys on the Discord, so just reach out to them and ask away. See if there's anything that they can answer for you. Is that 10 jumps away? Okay. Ooh, that's not good.
Warp drive
I
active.
think we're gonna end up having to cut our Nullsec farming pretty close here. Yeah, another really good resource is Captain Benzie. Back when he was covering this game, he had a lot of good information. Yeah, I think we might want to dock. And he goes through all the little nitty-gritty details about every weapon system and each ship. I highly recommend going and looking at some of those videos.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected.
So tell me, what brings you
We're
to
under attack.
Eve Echoes? Is this something you were very interested in, or did a friend bring you in? I was asking what brings you to Eve Echoes? Were you introduced by a friend, or did you see an ad or whatever?
Enemy ships detected.
Ah, you have a court. Nice.
We're under attack.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you could find a place to be. Snoopy, how you doing today? Haven't talked to you in 20 minutes or so. Yes. Yeah, it does seem that there's a severe lack of information. Oh, rip. Well, that's good. I'm glad I could be here to try to get some
Enemy ships
information for you.
detected.
And
We're
like I
under
said,
attack.
Discord, the Discord link I provided will bring you to my Discord, and people in there are more than willing to help out. Having trouble tracking that. Okay, it's dead now. Aw, well thank you. I know I don't know everything about this game, and I don't know anyone who knows everything about this game, but I do try to learn things as I go and show off what I learn.
Enemy
Oh,
ships
nice.
detected.
Well, thank you for joining the Discord. Yeah,
We're
feel free
under
to
attack.
ask questions and anything you are interested in. Yeah, we've got some pretty good fits going on here. Um, this particular fit that I've got going on, it's only about 7,000 DPS, but it does the job. It's mostly tank, so I'm not spending a whole lot of time actually DPSing things. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. Information on YouTube is a bit scattered all over the place. You can ask one question and get an answer from like 4 years ago that's not accurate anymore. Yeah, asking in the community is usually a really good way to get information. Just be careful who you're asking. Some of them will try to troll you or whatever. Trick you into doing something that you didn't need to do. It's still
Enemy
Eve
ships detected.
in a nutshell.
We're under attack.
You know, as much as I like this Nagalfar, I still feel like the Revelation is slightly better. I don't know. There's just something about the Revelation that feels better.
Warp drive active.
Got a good bounty tick there. Very nice. $36 million that was? Yeah, 38.6 million bounty tick.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
We are clearing anomalies pretty good.
Enemy ships detected.
We're gonna try to go for another, like,
We're under attack.
27 minutes, and then we'll start to calculate what we made on AI versus... so I am using BlueStacks. It's a computer emulator. However, you can also use like a phone and Google Play Store if you're on Android. A lot of people like Moo, which is also an emulator. But you do need... multiple accounts, not just multiple characters. So that means you need multiple Google accounts and whatnot to log in, or Facebook accounts to log in with. So just keep that in mind if you ever wanted to do something like this. The game does not like using,
Enemy ships
like
detected.
macros and stuff like that.
We're under attack.
So do not use any sort of macros or keybind shortcuts. It is not okay for the game. Not sure what you're asking. It can be troublesome to make multiple, like, emails and stuff like that sometimes. And so having a multi-box system like I have here can be frustrating, especially on BlueStacks. No, so long as you're manually doing everything, they do not care. But as soon as you start using, like, keybind shortcuts and things like that, or macros, they start to ban people for botting. So long as you only use systems in-game, you're fine.
Enemy ships detected.
That's why you
We're
see
under attack.
I'm using the AI system that's provided in-game for everything, along with manually piloting my Dreadnought here. So that way I'm not in trouble with any game rules or anything like that. How can you go to the null areas, but you can jump over there? HN5RL. Give me a minute, I need to let this do its thing. HN5RL. Did I spell it wrong? Up and right. Oh, you're talking about, yeah. So that is the drone lands. You need a special, filament to go there.
We're under attack.
I believe Schnoofy might know a little bit more about that. Yeah, there's no way to go there normally. You're talking about, Ethereum Reach and all this here, right? And Cobalt Edge. Yeah, there are filaments in the game on the market that you can use to enter that area. And you'll have to use a filament to get out of that area.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous area. Yeah, in that location you cannot see the local count of people, and the only way you know someone is there is if, you have a scanner to find out. The enemies there are also very dangerous, but you can get a lot out of it. You're welcome.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I personally have played EVE Online since 2014, on and off. And then for EVE Echoes, I have been playing since launch, which is now 5 years. Yes, it's been a long time, I tell you.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I wouldn't say a legend, but I'd like to make my own mark. I am currently, I think, the only Highsec player that owns a super carrier. I've spent like 4 of my 5 years in Nullsec, or in Highsec. And I've spent about a year in Nullsec, in Eve Echoes.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I really do enjoy the game. Sometimes I will send all of the ISK to one account so I can make large purchases, but more often than not, I let the ISK sit on each account until I need it. That way I don't make stupid purchases. I don't know about that.
We're under attack.
When you already own one super, why do you need a second one? Or, if you already own one dreadnought, why do I need all the dreadnoughts and the carriers? Because you can't stand on one leg. I don't know, I have made plenty of stupid purchases. In the end, it works out, though. Alright, where are we at? We've got about 13 minutes. And then we'll calculate how much ISK we made.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Oh. That'll be interesting. Yeah, it's not completely impossible. But it does pretty much become a job. There's a guy one jump away. Wonder if I should just stop for a minute. I believe that guy normally flies like a material or something.
Warp drive active.
Yeah. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be glad to answer them.
We're under attack.
Fly safe to you as well. You better not throw a bubble on me.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Nice, 41 million. I'll take it.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Damn, I really want to go do that Advanced Inquisitor. But I don't have somebody to scoop all the loot.
We're being warp scrambled. ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, depending on your location in Nullsec, it can be really busy or really dead like it's been today. Which is good. I'm glad I had this kind of time to be out here just enjoying the scenery.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
We're getting pretty close to the end of our stream here. We're probably gonna dock up after this. Alright, last little
Enemy
set of
ships
enemies.
detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Alright, last ship. We'll go ahead and let these guys dock up here.
Autopilot engaged.
Off we go. Oh, it's gonna take a minute to align.
Warp drive active.
Meow. Okay, let's see if this is the last wave. No, not that one.
Destination reached.
Okay, so we started today. Should definitely just duplicate all of my stuff from today. Make it fair. Okay, let's see. Which one is gonna be done with its AI pretty soon? Okay, that one should be done with its AI. 787, 10-2. That's what we're after. Oh no, the game is trying to kill you. Why? Yeah, of course. Let's just throw all the complications at it. Why don't we? Okay, that was the last one for that. Just got one more bounty reward there. We should get another couple of bounty rewards coming through pretty soon. So we're just waiting on the last bounty reward. And then we'll go over how much money we made running 3 AI ships versus the 1 Dreadnought in Null. Combination. This one got its bounty tick. This one... no bounty tick yet. And this one, no bounty tick yet. I feel like we did pretty good today. But this should give you an idea of why I don't use AI that often. And I rather manually pilot all of my ships, even in Highsec. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm kinda doubtful on that. How long is this bounty tick gonna take? Should be coming through pretty soon. Okay, we're gonna have to wait until... No, it should be pretty soon, like 2 minutes. That's the same here? Yeah, like 2 minutes. Until our bounty ticks come through. The reason why I'm waiting for this last bounty tick is I want the full 2-hour time period. That way we can calculate more closely to how much I would get out of like 8 hours of running AI versus 8 hours of running in Nullsec non-stop. There we are, there's 2 of our bounty ticks. They're a bit on the smaller side, I will say that. But that does give us our full picture now. Gonna also do this. And we will not include 10-1. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. On our Nullsec Dreadnought with just one character running in Nullsec, running smalls, mediums, larges, whatever we can clear out. We were able to make $492 million. Give me a minute to write this stuff down. I do prefer having my notes written as I'm trying to talk about things so I don't get it messed up as I go. Hi, Jinner. Welcome. You're almost home? Have you gotten any sleep, Jinner? So our Nullsec Dreadnought did 492 million, including all of the commendations being used. Our first alt, that would be this one up here, started with 27,559, 27,559. And we made up to 27,734. We made 175 million. For 2 hours of running AI. Let's see our next one. Our next one started at 2217, and we ended up at 2381. That is 164 million. For 2 hours of running. And our last one started at 142, and we ended at 294, which is 152 million. For 2 hours. So, with a single character, the Nullsec Dread did 492 million. And if we combine all of the AI ships, they made 491 million. So, you need to run 3 accounts running AI like I have it in order to make the same amount of money that one Dreadnought can make in the same amount of time in Nullsec. I know those numbers can fluctuate a little bit depending on how far away you have to warp, how good you are about turning off your siege module. How much DPS you have. But actually, I'm a little bit surprised at how even that was between the 3 ships versus the Nullsec Dread. Keep in mind, these AI ships have significantly better skills than what I have on the Dreadnought. I mean, we're talking our large missile skills being almost completely maxed out on these characters. You can see here. Whereas on the Dreadnought, let's find our cannons here. We're working only with 440 along with the special weapon, which is 540. The Dreadnought is a lot easier to skill into and have a much better result than to max out, like, 3 AI battleships. if I was manually piloting all 3 ships in Highsec, you would find that I would probably actually make more than what the Nullsec Dread could put out. Well, I don't think you want to bring attention to us, Jitter. It's already bad enough. They might find that annoying. So, I don't know. I think me personally, I would rather, given the numbers that I see here, I would either rather manually pilot 3 ships in Highsec, or have, like, 2 dreadnoughts running in Nullsec. Like, if I had 2 Nullsec dreadnoughts, we'd be making the same as what the Nullsec Dread plus 3 AI ships did. It's a little surprising, actually. Ticks. Ticks, ticks, ticks. And the Dreadnought can get a lot better ticks. I'm telling you. For the ticks that I got, we could definitely have done quite a bit better. Our highest tick on the Dreadnought was 54.6 million. And then on the AI ships, 13.4, 13.4, and 14.1 were our best bounty ticks. Which is pretty good. With that kind of bounty tick income, you could continually replenish your purple crystals when you run out. But like I said, I would do so much better bounty ticks just manually piloting those AI ships rather than running the AI. Maybe that's something I should do pretty soon, is taking these numbers from today and do like 2 hours of manual encounter mission running and see what we come out in Highsec. Because with doing that, we can also run labs with these ships and make significantly better bounty ticks. Just manually piloting. Oh god, a null. With AI in null, you're gonna have to, like, use a carrier, I think, or use, like, a really long-range dreadnought. I think that would work as well, but a carrier would be your best option for AI in null. And even still, Like, just running a bunch of battleships would be much faster. Or much better than AI a capital. If the AI was smarter, meaning it did not just blatantly abuse the module activations, like it would stagger modules if you had multiple of the same kind for damage modules, or maybe if, on a capital, if you get a warp, it would use, like, stabilizers or micro warp drive to try to get it to warp. I don't know. I don't know how you would program that, since that is a very human interaction with game mechanics, and it's hard to replicate, I would think. But yeah, I am actually really surprised that the Nullsec Dread did 492 million, whereas the combination of all three AI ships did 491. Only a million less. But as that Dreadnought gets significantly better skills, I mean, even if I was to just put, like, Advanced 5 on the Dread, or just get, like, Basic 5, so I have the basic skill here. Like, if I just get Capital Cannon Operation 5, we would see quite a significant increase in our bounty tick. I mean, we're talking like probably like a 10, maybe even 15% increase with that activation time and the damage increase. It would mean that some ships that we were leaving on a sliver of health would die. So it really does compound on top of itself if you have the last skill level for the Dread. So, if we extrapolate that out to 8 hours, which is how long AI will run, we would be making about 1.968 billion on the Dread for 8 hours. Pretty good there. Assuming we kept kind of the same bounty tick rotation that we had. It could be higher or it could be lower depending on what anomalies we actually ended up doing. Oh, Jinner. Are you... Nah, it's okay. I don't care. Whereas the Highsec ships would be making about 1.964. for 8 hours. Depending on how often they have to jump long distances. If they're spending more time between encounters, meaning that they're having to jump like 32 AU to get to the next encounter more often, then we're going to see a lower number there. If they're spending more time jumping close ranges, like anywhere between 0.0 AU and up to like 14 or 15 AU, we could see higher bounty tick. So pretty much, both ships are going to be outputting about 2 billion ISK every 8 hours if you can manage to stay on for that long. Between all three Highsec Dreadnought, or Highsec battleships, or the Nullsec Dreadnought. So that's just a pretty interesting comparison between all of them. Maybe on Saturday we'll do the Highsec battleships manual piloting, and we'll compare 2 hours of that. And see how that goes. See what number comes out of that. I don't know. We'll see. I have so many videos of me running battleships manually in Highsec. You can pretty much compare it to any of those. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all of your support. It has been amazing. Currently, YouTube is kind of stuck at that 232 subscriber area. Okay, we've now gone up to 236, which is really awesome. I really cannot believe we're where we at. Where we are at. God, that is a terrible sentence in English. Thank you all so much for the support. I really cannot thank you enough. So thank you. I will see you tomorrow with the alphas in Dormant Realm. Because we have to do it. We have no choice. We have 2 days left in the week. So we're gonna do the alphas in Dormant Realm tomorrow. Hopefully we'll do Dormant Realm 1-8. I'd like to have a little bit of health in there. At least for the first few runs. Get comfortable with the battleships being around and what our ships can handle. But I feel like we should be fine. The only concern I have is capacitor. So we'll see what that does to us. So thank you all so much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, and be safe.